never gone through the Fast Start training that we have yet. Put a number 1 in the chat if you have not gone through the Fast Start training.
Recording in progress.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, a couple of folks. Okay, good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see, this is a sales training, so we're going to go through scripts today. But we're also going to go through scripts because of the Fast Start training, and I want you guys to see the value in that Fast Start training. But I'm going to train on it a little bit different. There's so much in there, and I want you to see, because you've got to get great at knowing the Fast Start training, going through the Fast Start training, and you got to learn with the intent to teach. So every training, we're going to be, in 2 weeks, we're going to be in California, right? At the Mentor Factory. When you go to any training, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make sure, here's for your notes. I want you guys to start taking notes, okay? For your notes, you want to make sure that you learn with the intent to teach. This is called the Teachability Index. So write that down, Teachability Index. The Teachability Index is your ability to learn multiplied by your ability to apply or to change, right? Because if we apply what we're learning, chances are we're changing something. We're doing something different, right? So your ability to learn versus your ability to change, right? Your ability to apply. Let me explain. So in the Teachability Index, ladies and gentlemen, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to write down, these are for your notes. I'm not going to ask you. So you've got to be, to help yourself, you got to be extremely coachable. On a scale of 1 to 10, how willing to learn am I? Right? Is it a 5? Like, for example, do I have my camera off and I'm cooking breakfast at the same time that I'm listening? Now, here's the deal. If you got kids and you got to cook breakfast for them and you got to go to work, do your thing. I'd rather you do that than not. But let's face it, we have all been in a situation where we should be paying attention, but we're multitasking. Maybe some people are scrolling on social media right now or sending a text message instead of paying attention to the training. So you're not very high on the willingness to learn, right, in that scenario. So 1 being very hardly anything, 10 being very, very willing to learn. That means that you're really taking notes. I don't have a notepad, but I'm texting myself these notes. I got a note app on my phone that I'm putting the notes in, okay? So that's your willingness to learn. The next one is your willingness to change, or your willingness to apply what you're learning, your willingness to go and do the stuff, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, where is your willingness to change? Change/apply, okay, is what it is. Where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen, to begin your journey, remember, you got to be brutally, keyword, brutally honest. Where you've got to be is you've got to be at above a 70. By the way, you could be a 8.5 on 1. You could be, I'm not quite an 8, I'm not quite a 9, I'm somewhere in between. You could go 8.5. So you want to be above a 70 when you multiply those 2 numbers. So let's say you're a 9 on 1 and you're a 9 on the other. You're 81. You're in a good place. That means that you are taking copious notes. You are learning with the intent to teach others. It's different when you are learning with the intent to teach. Think about it. What if we said all of you guys have a team of 5 people that you are going to train on what I'm going to train on? Your job is to learn these notes, and you're going to teach your team. Not only will this help their success, but those of you that teach it better get a $1,000 bonus on Friday. How would you be learning the stuff? You'd probably be taking copious notes, right? You'd probably be writing down the examples. You'd probably be listening to recording later. Like, you've got to be willing to be coachable, okay? So willingness to learn, and then willingness to apply or willingness to change. You got to be at over 70. I want you guys to put the number on here. On your willingness to learn and your willingness to change and apply, multiply those 2 numbers, and I want you to put that number in the chat right now. Let's see what we're looking at. 72. I like it. That's an odd number, by the way. You must have put a 7.2 somewhere and a 10. But I like it. It's over 70. 72. No, maybe not, right? Maybe not, but 90, 100. I love it. 81. I like it. I like it. Idris, 81. Idris, I got to tell you, I like it, man, because if you would have told me 90 or 100, Idris, I would have believed it. So I love your self-awareness. We've got to be a little bit critical of ourselves. Because we know how much we're trying, how much we're doing, and how much we're not doing. We know that. So now that I've got that out the way, let me share the screen. Okay. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the first training that everybody should go through. Not only, ladies and gentlemen, is this the first training that everybody should go through, this is the first training that you, if you want to build a big team, by the way, if you want to build a big team, you want to lead by example, right? You want to have other people selling solar, water, and security and introducing people, even if you want to build a team on a slower basis, you should have the mindset that I need to learn how to teach this fast start training myself. So by you successfully building a business, you get time freedom. Okay. You've got the option of location freedom, financial freedom, and then finally, inner freedom. Okay. Let me get this bar out the way. Let's see. 1 second. I got this Zoom bar in the way. It's kind of annoying. There we go. Okay. So let's keep it going. So launching your business, first and foremost, number one should be, you got to get excited. Write that down. I got to get excited. You got to get excited about your business. You got to get excited about life. You got to get excited because you're pre-playing your future success and wins. Unsuccessful people replay their past failures and setbacks. Successful people pre-play their future success and wins. They get excited about it. Okay. Number one, once you get excited, you've got to identify why you're doing the business. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because there's a couple of things I want to hit harder. But when you identify your whys, number one, they've got to be specific. They've got to be written down, and you've got to have short-term and long-term whys. Why, meaning your goals. Why are you doing the business? Is it for your kids? Is it for your parents? Is it, and what? And it's got to be specific. Oh, it's for my kids. Well, what are you going to do for your kids? I want to send them to a private school. Great. How much does that cost? How much? How fast? Write that down. How much? How fast? So I want to send them to private school. It costs $900 a month. Great. By when do you want to do that? Write the date down and write it down like this. I am so happy and grateful now that I have enrolled my children to private school, 2 of them, $1,800 a month. And it is December 2025. December 1st, 2025, I have achieved this goal. I am so happy and grateful now that by December 2025, I've enrolled both of my children into private school. The $1,800 per month is not an issue anymore in my going to private school. That's an example. So I recommend that you have goals for yourself and goals for others, things that you want to accomplish because of yourself and things that you want to accomplish for others. You've got to identify why you're doing the business. The next one is identify what you're willing to give up. Something's got to give, ladies and gentlemen. You want to go somewhere you've never been. You want to achieve things you've never achieved. Guess what? You got to give something up. You got to be specific about what you're willing to give up. Some of you guys, maybe you play poker with your friends once or twice a week. Some of you guys maybe go golfing with somebody. Maybe some of you guys go watch a game or in a fantasy football league or something like that. And you got to use some of that time to dedicate to build your business. Something's got to give, right? So be specific. Write it down, and you got to put a minimum keywords, minimum of an 18-month commitment. If you put an 18-month commitment following the system, I guarantee you 18 months comes from now, it'll be extremely hard for you to quit. You know why? Because you learned some skills, because you've got some traction, because you've made some money, because you've got a little bit of momentum or a lot of momentum. Now, the first 18 months, if you do what you're supposed to do, the next 18 months can be significantly better. I always say, you got to treat this business like a business. You got to give it a 5-year commitment, right? It takes 5 years to make life fair. So 18 months is the bare minimum, and that is key. Here's the deal. when you let your people know, sometimes I do faster, not these days, but I used to always, I got a little team. Oh, we got 3 new people. Let's meet at a Starbucks. Now you can meet on Zoom. Oh, we got 3 people on the team. Guess what? Let's meet at Starbucks. And I did the fast start trainings over. I was doing, when I went to 6 figures a month in my network marketing business for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, guess what I was doing? I was doing fast start trainings all the time, like 3 times a week. I was doing one-on-ones, like I was doing like 10 one-on-ones a week, but I was doing fast start trainings like 3 times a week, like with little groups. Then I would do a big one, then little groups, then I would do a big one, right? So let's keep going. Then you want to make your list, right? Name of the list. Look, 100 names and numbers. Anybody can do 100 names and numbers. We all know at least 100 names and numbers. The problem is that most of us prejudge people, so don't prejudge them. Okay, must write them down. And you got to get to 200 people to know that you are in this industry as soon as humanly possible. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. I should have made that in bold. I should have put that bold. Matter of fact, I will. You got to get 200 people to know, darn it, this thing is on view only. That's fine. You got to get 200 people to know that you are in this industry as soon as possible. The goal is 45 days. I'm going to show you what that looks like, okay? So I'm going to get into the script that you use for that, right? But here's what's going to happen. Okay? Identify what you're willing to give up. We talked about this actually, okay? 2 types of people. You're going to have homeowners, you're going to have people that you're going to invite as partners into the business, okay? List as many people as you can that you're going to invite into the business. One of the things that gets people confused is this. This got me confused a couple of months into my solar industry, into the solar industry. I was like, man, there's so much to learn. There's inverters, there's batteries, there's different brands of panels. How do I know? And here's what I realized. Some of you guys may feel that way. Here's what I realized. You're going to learn all that if you follow the basics. Here's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on attending trainings while simultaneously you are getting people, homeowners, to presentation. See, with us, now you got presentations for solar, water, home security. So when we're talking about solar, it's a KISS method. Keep it super simple. Step 1 is get the interest. You want to make your first couple of sales? Focus on these 3 steps. Step 1, get the interest. Step 2, get the bill. Step 3, get the appointment. Get the interest, get the bill, get the appointment. When you get the appointment, you're booking your mentor. Your mentor shows up, they close the deal, you be quiet, and guess what? When you see that presentation and you see that interaction, the answering of the questions back and forth, you will learn so much from those presentations. It never fails. The mentee says, man, I learned a lot from that presentation, whether the sale was closed or it wasn't closed. That made sense. All of those questions that they were asking, now the dots are starting to connect. But sometimes we suffer from paralysis by analysis. And even if you've gone through a fast start training before, I guarantee you that once you're done with today, that I kind of elaborate a little bit different on some of these things, you will capture things that you didn't capture before. But I also want you to understand the importance of making sure that you get people to the fast start training. If I have to go, let's say Jonathan is a buddy of mine that I recruited, and Jonathan hasn't gone through the fast start training, the recorded fast start training. You know what I'm going to do? Jonathan, when can we meet, brother? I want to do a game plan with you. When can we meet? Now, granted, the game plan is supposed to happen after the fast start training, isn't it? Yes. Here's what I'll do. Meet with him at Starbucks, somewhere, at a restaurant, at my house, his house, on Zoom. Doesn't matter. You know what I will do? Play the fast start training for him. Here's what we're going to do, Jonathan. We're going to go through the fast start training together. That way we can go ahead and do a game plan interview. Why? Write this down. Because a winner does what a winner does. A winner gets things to happen. A novice waits for things to happen. Is this making sense to anybody? Do you identify as a winner? Is your identity of yourself the identity of a winner? A winner finds a way through over or under and figures out how to win. You're a new person. New people are the lifeblood of this business. Here's a mistake that people are making. The mistake that people make in this industry in general, in team building industries, here's a mistake that they make. They don't realize that when people are new, they're at their highest level of enthusiasm and lowest level of knowledge. Highest level of enthusiasm, lowest level of knowledge. When they're new, highest level of enthusiasm. Get with them to get their list done. If they're not a self-starter, guess what? Most people are not self-starter. You have to create the identity of yourself that you are a self-starter. Remember, 3%ers are motivators. They get other people to do things they wouldn't otherwise do. So even if you're not a 3%er, you could have moments of a 3%er, right? 10% people are self-motivated. They'll do the stuff. 3%ers do the stuff and get others to do the stuff. Let's say it's my brother, Lewis. Have you gone through faster training? No, I haven't, bro. I promise you I'm going to get to it. No problem, man. Check this out. Let's do this, bro. Get your calendar on your phone. I'm gonna do likewise. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Okay, great. Today's a very busy day. What does tomorrow or Wednesday look like for you, Lewis? Lewis says, Tuesday's better than Wednesday. Great. Tuesday looks pretty good for me as well. I will literally book a time on my calendar, his calendar, to get that dude to watch the faster training, even if I have to go and do the faster training myself. I would rather press play on a video that's in the back office, or even on BYLDFastStart.com. BYLDFastStart.com. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's see if it's live. Hold on 1 second. Check this out. Let's see if this is live. Let's check BYLDFastStart.com. Okay. So this is going to start at 11. This soon, ladies and gentlemen, will be playing a fast start training. The one I'm going through, but the official fast start training every hour on the hour. And it looks live, but it's not. It's a recorded presentation. It's a recorded training. We are working with this system to make it every hour on the hour. Okay. So Jessica, send a message to Juan right now. Say, hey, JC told me to send you this message that BYLD Fast Start is not playing every hour on the hour yet. Can we please get it? He showed the people. I want you to put all this. He showed the people on training, and it's still not working because it wasn't programmed like that. So it's not Juan's fault. I programmed it for Saturdays and Sundays, I think. And then I told him, hey, let's program it for every hour on the hour all week long. Okay. So let's keep going. You have to raise the bar, right? And your association will help you do that. Okay. You got to identify as a person that says, I'm the guy or the girl that makes things happen. Okay, let's keep going. There's 3 kinds of categories. You got to identify where you're at here as well. And you got to find out, where do your people identify? This is a part of the game plan interview. This question is in the game plan interview. I want you guys to put in the chat, which one of these are you? Are you somebody, number one, that wants to supplement their income with this business? You want to make some extra income, add to your additional income. Nothing wrong with that. Are you somebody that wants to replace your income? Hey man, honestly, look, I'm not trying to get rich, JC, but I like to replace my income. That's my goal for now. Great. Or are you the third person? Somebody that wants financial freedom. Okay. So now that I've got you guys, a lot of 3s. Good. Now that we've got that out the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want financial freedom, you've got to become a 3%er. Isn't that interesting? Number 3 requires of you to be a 3%er, a motivator. Didn't I say that if somebody's not going through their fast start training, or somebody's not connected to the trainings, you to have that conversation with them? Now, you don't want to give the person a call, say, hey, Idris, what the heck, bro? You were not on the Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. I thought you wanted success, bro. Are you BSing? Obviously, that's not a way to talk to people. That's how I used to talk to people, by the way, okay? I learned the hard way. So guess what a 3%er does? They do personal development. How to Win Friends and Influence People is an amazing book that I recommend that everybody read. How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? So there's a way for you to get the message across. It's kind of like a velvet glove, right? And you kind of like smack them a little bit with a velvet glove. There's a way to do it. But if you want to be a 3%er, financial freedom, here's the truth. You could achieve financial freedom being a 10%er, but you'll achieve it much faster and much more likely being a 10%er. So I tell people this: text your sponsor and close mentor which one of these categories you fall in right now. See, you're not getting people to go through the fast start training if you're not getting text messages like this. Okay. Contacting the homeowner. Okay. Here's a couple of scripts. Okay. Hey, Mike, I just started a new career in the solar industry and I'm super excited about it. I'm currently finishing up my certification and I need to design 4 more solar savings reports and present them. Could you help me out with this, bro? Look, you don't have to buy anything. You just have to let me present it to you. And if you allow me to do that, my company will actually give you a 3 nights and 4 stays in 4 days in Vegas. And then here's a little added bonus I add. You get the trip to Vegas, I get closer to hitting my bonus. So win-win. You guys see where I'm coming from with this? This is obviously for getting the utility bill. See? You got to get good at getting your utility bill. Now, here's the deal. A 10%er and a 3%ers, 10%ers are self-motivated, 3%ers are motivators. Guess what those guys do? Those guys and girls do. They lead by example. So if I'm sitting down with my new guy, Idris, and I say, Idris, let me give you by the way, write this down. Write this down. A good trainer and a good leader and a good presenter is a great storyteller. It's a great storyteller. You're gonna hear me say this a lot. You got to get great, not good. Good is the enemy of great. You've got to get great at telling stories. Even if I'm with a customer, Mr. Customer, you need one back. Somebody's off of mute. Please make sure that you mute your line. Somebody was just laughing off of mute. So here's the deal. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting down with a customer. Customer says to me, JC, I don't know how come I need a battery. My neighbor got solar, didn't need a battery. I understand exactly how you feel. I'm guessing, Mrs. Customer, that your neighbor got solar over 2 years ago. Yes, that's correct. Yes. Now, ever since April of last year, every person in California under the utility company that you're in needs a solar battery. I'll give you an example. I was referred to a customer, right, that got a system last year and the solar company sold them a system without a battery. Now they get a big utility bill from the company because they're not on the same net metering program, blah, blah, blah. I'm giving you an example of a story, right? Or I'll give them a story. Yes, I have a customer that had a home with a pool the way that you do, right? And they were going to increase how much electricity they were using. So that's why I asked a question, Mr. Homeowner. Do you plan on using more electricity than you're currently using? That person told me no. Turns out a year later, they called me angry because they got a big bill from the utility company because the solar wasn't covering it. And I said, don't worry about it. If something's wrong with the system, we'll fix it. Can you please send me your utility bill? They sent me the utility bill. They used to use about 12,000 kilowatt hours a year. They were now using 16,000. You know why? Those 2 cars take up extra electricity. But when I asked them, are you planning on doing anything to your house that may increase the amount of electricity that you use? They told me no. They said no. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to go down because our kids are going to be leaving. I said, fair enough. But then they added those 2 cars. So when I explained that to them, the customer said, oh, that makes sense. Okay, that's fine. That's our mistake. My point is, facts tell, stories sell. You got to tell the story. So like, let's say here, hey, Idris, when I barely got started and I was new, brother, I called 10, 15 homeowners that I knew. I used this script. A couple of people told me they were going to send it to me, didn't send it to me. But there's a couple of people that did. There's a part of it. The script works. I tried it before. I'll help you with it. I'm always telling stories. So let's keep it going. Contacting homeowners. Okay. Here's the info that we need. Okay. Not going to spend a lot of time on this. You got to get this info from the homeowner. At the very minimum, you got to get this info from the homeowner. Yes, finding out what kind of roof they have or what kind of electric box they have is that helpful? Sure. Do you need it? No. The key is this. Get homeowners that are open to listening to the information to get the information. The name, the phone number, and the email you probably already have. So you need their utility bill, okay? You need their utility bill, right? That is the biggest thing, right? And then the address, the utility bill is on the address, all right? So let's keep going. Hey, Jen, have you noticed that your electric bill has been going up in the past few years or the past few months? Yes, me too. By the way, did you know that I just started in the solar industry? I'm actually now certified to help homeowners evaluate if solar is right for their home and can potentially save them a ton of money. Okay. If solar didn't cost you anything out of pocket, would you be open to me showing you a solar savings report? My point with this, it's a couple. These are proven scripts that anybody could do. Now, here's one thing. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a minute. I do that when I want to drive a point home. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys, odd question. I want you guys to put the name of your favorite movie in the chat. Favorite movie, put it in the chat. Let's go. I want to start seeing people's hands moving slightly in front of them that you're going to participate. Inception, okay, perfect. Rudy, that's a good movie. The Matrix, great. Rocky, Training Day. Oh, man, we got some good ones, man. I knew that I liked this crowd. Troy, oh, forget about it. Black Hawk Down, Pursuit of Happiness. Oh, my goodness. Dude, and we all got to go watch Pursuit of Happiness this week. We got to go watch Pursuit of Happiness this week. 300. Oh, man, these are my people. You guys are reading my mind. Okay, that's good. Thank you very much, everybody. Here's my point. Every great actor, every great movie has great scripts. And they have scripts that, guess what, got practiced over and over and over. If you want to be a 10%er or a 3%er, some of you guys are a little bit lost when I say 10%ers. Out of all the people, let's say you get 100 random people, 27% are not going to be motivated. They're not going to be on this training. And if they happen to stumble on this training, they're not paying attention. They're not motivatable. 60% are motivatable. I know that's not a word, but it is today. They could be motivated. They're motivatable. They're like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. I'm excited. Then they lose their excitement when they get a no. That's the 60%ers. They're on a roller coaster all their life. Oh, man, that's tough. Then you got the 10%ers, self-motivated. They're going to do what needs to get done. I'm going to be on training. You don't got to remind me, JC. I'm going to be there. It's on my calendar. I'm going to win. You don't got to remind me to go through faster training. I already did it. 10%ers. 3%ers are the motivators. They're the ones that motivate, get other people to do things they wouldn't otherwise do. These are the guys and girls that are going to make 7 figures. It's just a matter of time. Okay? The scripts, ladies and gentlemen, you shouldn't like glance at them and then let me try to call. You're decreasing your chances of success. You should go through these scripts or whatever script you decide to go through and go over and over and over and over. Write this down. This is a martial arts quote, by the way. Drillers are killers. Drilling the script. In martial arts, we drills, right? Like, let's say cross, hook, leg kick. Cross, hook, leg kick. And I do it to Fabian. Boom, boom. And he's blocking. He's doing the muscle memory. I'm blocking that combination. And I'm doing the muscle memory. I'm throwing that combination. And then he does 10 to me. Then I do 10 to him. Then he does 10 to me. Then I do 10 to him. Then we do a different combination. 10, 10, 10, 10. Before you know it, write this down. The mind forgets, but the body remembers. The mind forgets. Man, I'm giving you guys $1 million worth of game here. I'm telling you. You guys listen to these philosophies, and you listen to these philosophies and you apply this stuff over the course of 5 years. You're going to need some binoculars to look back at where you used to be. The mind forgets, the body remembers. You know why? Because you practice it over and over, because you deserve it. Brad Pitt, Denzel Washington, some of my favorite actors. Guess what? You better believe they learned their scripts and they took their scripts seriously. You better believe they looked at. You better believe Denzel Washington did the American Gangster script and did the whole thing that he does with his hands and stuff and with his lips over and over in front of the mirror over and over and over and over. Because that dude is a 3%er. And it pays to be a 3%er. But see, we get champions are not recognized. They're not made in the ring. You think a champion is made in the ring when he gets a belt? No. He's recognized in the ring for what he did in the dark of the morning. A champion is not made in the ring. They're just recognized there. A champion is made for what they're doing when nobody's looking. The scripts are practicing when nobody's looking. The extra calls they're making that others are not making. The trainings they're attending that other people are not attending. Let's keep going. Contacting homeowners. Here's another one. Okay, we already talked about that. Okay, if they have questions, here's one way that you don't have to get into this much detail, right? But I just put it in there because it's also good for you to know, right? Look, there's 130 million homes in America that are plugged into the energy grid. Only 90% qualify. Not all homes qualify, Mike. Let me see your bill and we can see if your home qualifies, brother. Or you could simply say, look, I am new. I just went through certification. I'm not the most expert. Just do me a favor. Let me get your bill and I'll let you know. Sometimes we let you know ahead of time before anything. You know what? It doesn't qualify for whatever reason. Okay, let's keep going. Contacting the homeowner. If they have questions, okay, we went through that. I'm barely going through my certification, so I don't want to give you any false information. But my manager has X amount of years of experience, and I can certainly connect you with them to answer any and all of your questions. And right here's a good way to do a three-way call. By the way, these three-way calls are considered discovery calls. So let's say I got a homeowner that's interested, wants to give me the bill, or already gave me the bill but has questions. It's okay to talk to the mentor and say, hey, look, I got a homeowner that's interested. Would it be okay if I do a three-way call? He's got a couple of basic questions on how solar works. Most solar mentors will say, sure, why not? But they're going to be a lot more open to doing that three-way call if we do indeed have the bill. Because a lot of them want information anyways. Like, for example, Mr. Customer, do you know what kind of roof you have? Do you know the size of your electric box? Is it a 200 amp electric box? Do you plan on doing anything to your home that may increase the amount of electricity? Yes, I'm going to add a pool and I'm going to get a Tesla. Great. Here's what I'll do, Mr. Homeowner. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of extra electricity to offset for that. So what I'll do, here's what I would say. What I'll do is I'm going to show you a solar savings report based on your current bill, but I'm going to have another savings report based on the additions that you're making to your home. Does that sound fair enough? Yes, that sounds fair enough. Sounds good. Then we schedule the appointment. The mentor will schedule at that point the appointment, get a couple of basic questions answered. Not all the questions, because that's what the presentation's for, right? And then at that discovery call, schedule the time for us to present and close the deal. Okay, let's keep going. The key here is asking for a favor to complete the certification. That's a part of the script. We talked about it earlier. Offering the free trip to Vegas, okay? Here's what we're doing with the utility bill. We're checking to see how many kilowatt hours they are currently using and how much they are paying for those kilowatt hours. This will give us their average monthly payment. We are also checking to see how much sun exposure their home gets. Are there trees blocking the sun or other factors? These are some of the things that will determine if they qualify for solar. By the way, this is something that I could say to the homeowner if need be. Listen, Mr. Homeowner, the only thing I can do with your bill is pay it. I can't do anything negative with your bill, okay? The worst thing I can do with your bill is pay your bill, right? So this is a little bit something that we can share with the homeowner. You see the time, great. So contacting everybody else. You want to first recruit yourself, then you want to recruit your spouse, then you want to recruit the world. Recruit yourself, your spouse, and the world. When I say recruit your spouse, does that mean actually recruit them into the business? If you can, yes. But even if they're not officially building the business with you, getting your spouse to see the business and get excited for you and say, look, I see what you're doing. I see the vision of what you're doing. I'm going to support you. That's good enough. But this is a good way to go and do it. Recruit yourself, recruit your spouse. Listen, honey, I know that you're busy with what you do. I want you to see what I'm doing so you can see why I'm so excited. Okay? You get buy-in from your spouse, it makes your life easier. Okay? And then guess what? Go and recruit the world. Okay? So I'm not going to get into a lot of these. I am going to get into a couple of these scripts. I'm not going to go through every slide. Okay? Hey, John, I just launched my business and I'm super excited about it. I'm having a grand opening via Zoom because our business is nationwide. The goal is for me to show people how to become affiliates for free because we pay $1,000 for referrals that go solar with us. Can I count on you to make it? So this is when I'm inviting people to the Zoom launch of my solar brokerage or my high ticket brokerage. Hey, John, listen, I just launched my solar brokerage or my solar business. I'm super excited about it, brother. The reason, that's why I'm calling you. I'm actually having a grand opening via Zoom because my company is nationwide, so we're doing it via Zoom. So I've got friends in other states as well. So the goal, just so you know, the goal for this, Idris, is because I want to show people how to become our affiliates for free because we pay $1,000 for any referral that they send to us. Brother, can I count on you to be there to support the grand opening of my business? You guys see, now what if I practice this and I'm like, whoa, I'm saying this smooth, this is flowing because I practiced it because I'm doing 3%er activities, 10%er activities. I'm acting as if. Now, what happens if you keep acting like a 10%er and a 3%er long enough? What happens? You start to become a 10%er and a 3%er. You keep doing these things and all of a sudden like, whoa, I'm just doing stuff that winners do because winners do what winners do. Okay, here's an example. You get invite 20, 12 agree to show up, 8 actually show up. You get, let's say you get about 2 consultants, people that sign up paid to join the business, 5 to 8 affiliates. Everybody should become an affiliate at the very least and get 1 or 2 utility bills. Was that a successful launch? Doggone right it was. You got to promote launch events, okay? And I'm going to finish off with this. This is a script. I love this script. Here's why. Because this is a script. This is the no excuse script. It's called the soft approach, the informed script, but it's also the no excuse script. You know why? Because you are not pitching anybody. You're not selling anything. You're simply informing them. So there's no excuse not to do it. Let me tell you who will not do this. 27%ers don't even join the business. Okay? They're not going to invest in themselves. So let's get those out of the way. The 60%ers, it's a big portion. It's 60% of you. 60% of y'all will not do this. You're not going to do it. Let's say you make your list. You follow instructions. You pay attention. You are extremely coachable. You make your list of people. And you make a decision to get outside of your comfort zone. Now, what will make you get outside of your comfort zone? If your whys are strong enough, you will get outside of your comfort zone. You know why most people don't make the phone calls? You know why most people quit after one negative friend or relative? Because their whys are not strong enough. They never even wrote them down. I don't mean to sound cliche, but they say if your why doesn't make you cry, you need a new why. You want to succeed in business, not just this business, but any business, you better have some compelling reasons to succeed. You better have some compelling reasons to succeed. And if you do, you'll pay the necessary price that needs to be paid. So here goes. You call your warm market after you say your hellos. Hey, listen, Brenda, the reason why I wanted to give you a call is because I want to let you know that I just started in the solar industry and 2 bullet points. I'm very excited about it, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 15 to 20 years. So I'm letting them know this is not a fly-by-night thing. I'm committed to this. I'm excited about this. I'm going to be here for the next 15 to 20 years. Listen, I'm just letting you know in case you know of anybody who either 2 more bullet points has questions about solar, or if you know of anybody that may be interested in going solar. Okay? I'd appreciate it if you'd keep me in mind. So now I'm going to read it from the top without pausing. After my small talk, I say, Jessica, listen. So the reason for my call, Jessica, is because I wanted to let you know that I actually just got started in the solar industry and I'm super excited about this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing this for the next 15 to 20 years. This is my chosen career path. I'm just letting you know in case you know of anybody who, anybody that maybe has questions about solar, or if you know of anybody that may be interested in going solar, I'd really appreciate it, Jessica, if you kept me in mind. See, I'm not selling her anything. I'm informing her of my new chosen career path. That will, by the way, that was one of the major shifts in my business when I decided this is not my little business. This is my career path. There was a switch in my mind in 2020. I went from being a network marketer to being a solar professional that built solar teams too. Okay? This is my chosen career path. Now, check this out. If they reply with anything positive, here's what you say. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. If it's a woman, don't say bro. Okay, I think that goes without saying, right? Hey, I appreciate that, by the way. By the way, Jessica, our company has a really cool affiliate program. Excuse me, where they pay you $1,000 for anybody that you refer to as that decides to go solar. Now, I'm going to go to make them an affiliate. If they're a homeowner and they give me anything positive, I'm going to go to make them an affiliate and ask for the bill. And here's the deal. Sometimes they'll ask, can I refer myself? Sure. Do you mean, could you make $1,000 for referring yourself? Yes. You know what? I don't know, but I'll make sure that I put a note in and I'll make sure that you get the $1,000 if you refer yourself. So let's say $7,000. Instead of you making 3,500 and the mentor making 3,500, you each make 3,000. Is that the worst thing in the world? No. But there's a system, ladies and gentlemen, for a reason. And if they brush you off, they say, oh, okay, sounds good. Yeah, no problem. You see the tone of voice? Oh, yeah, sounds good, no problem. They're not very positive about it. You move on. You know why? Because you got a big list of people, right? You go and make the next phone call. You go and make the next phone call. The thing is this. Think about this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say somebody did actually make a list of 200 people. Let's say they did. How long could they take, even if they're part-time? How long could they take to call those 200 people? Could they call them in a week if they wanted to? Sure. Could they call them in a month if they wanted to? 25, 50 a week. They call 50 of them a week. What if in 2 months they call 25 a week for 2 months? They could get to those 200 people. Here's the thing, write this down. It's easy to do. Here's the problem. It's easier not to do it. 60% decisions. 60%ers make 60% decisions. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I appreciate you guys getting on here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to be headed to the office because I've got enough time to get to the office if I leave right now. So, I hope you guys got some value from this. We're going to keep this thing going. Jessica, make sure you keep the Zoom open. Okay. I'm going to be doing a short sales meeting from the office. Okay. So, those of you guys that want to stay, you've got some time, go for it. Millionaire Mentorship Call tonight is with Mrs. Carla Pacheco. You don't want to miss that training. Trust me, she is awesome. You guys are going to love her training. She's also going to be one of the trainers at Mentor Factory. Those tickets are very quickly winding down. I would encourage you, big time, do 3%er and 10%er activities. Get your ticket if you haven't. Get others, 3%ers, get others to do things they wouldn't otherwise done had it not been for the 3%er stepping in and doing what a 3%er does. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, JC. So one of the nuggets that I took from this training is really that increased confidence that everybody in my contacts must know that I am a solar professional, right? So if everybody knows that, and I keep keeping them abreast of what I'm doing, whether it's a group of text messages, whether it's on Instagram, just like Roberto is doing, right? Wonderful job on Instagram, keeping his network updated. That's the way to do it. Let everybody know. Don't be a secret agent.